So the Fish Trawl is a long-term time series that's been going since 1959.
This is certainly one of the longest continuous surveys in the US and perhaps the world. So it's establishing the baseline, and that baseline then can be used to assess potential effects of our human activities, the effects of fishing, the effects of habitat alteration, thermal pollution, and that kind of thing.
Every Monday, we meet at Wickford Shipyard at the RV Cap'n Bert, which is URI's research trawler. And we sample 2 stations within the bay.
The sampling starts with doing a hydrographic profile of the water column to measure the temperature and salinity.
And at each station, we set the net for half an hour, we haul it back, and then sort everything to species level. And then we count everything, weigh everything, and then we take length measurements on a subset of the individuals. Results from the survey are used for all different kinds of stock assessments and all different kinds of scientific work.
And personally, I really like looking at the data. A lot of the species that we see are ones that have been here all along, but maybe they were here in reduced numbers.
From a long-term perspective, when the survey first started in the 60s and 70s, we saw a community really dominated by demersal fish, so that's fish that live on the bottom. And then more towards the 80s and 90s, you saw a really big spike in benthic invertebrates, so that's things like crabs and lobsters. And then there was a very, very steep drop in the late 90s for those benthic invertebrates.
And now we have some warm water predators moving in. We've seen basically a replacement of the cold water species by warm water species. So species like red hake and cunner and winter flounder that were really abundant in the first half of the trawl are now rare, and they've been replaced by warm water species like squid and butterfish.
I just really love that first moment when we first take everything out of the net and we're kind of seeing, what do we have? Like, is there anything cool?
The other thing that's really memorable is when we catch a species that's new to the trawl. That's always pretty exciting.
You know, it is a lot of work to be there every single Monday, 52 weeks out of the year. I do credit the Fish Trawl with making me a better scientist because I did get that experience.
Fortunately, we have an excellent captain. We have excellent graduate students.
The Fish Trawl is a very well-oiled machine. It's been going on for so long that we've kind of have it down to a science, which I really appreciate.